and Peter, thank you very much again for all of your efforts. You truly are one of the unsung heroes for the economic community and economic development here in the South Shore. At this point, it's my distinct pleasure to be able to introduce our Chief Executive for the Commonwealth. But part of this, Governor, you would ask that we make sure this would be a listening tour. And you'll see from, we have people who are already ready to give you some great stories about how economic development is already taking place, what we see happening in the future because of your commitment and the help that you have for Route 139 and for elsewhere. But again, as part of the listening tour, we really should share some tales as well. Because last year when we were having you come last July, we were so honored that you were visiting. By the way, this is your 4th time here to Marshfield, which might be a record for a governor coming to a town, by the way. Thank you. What I'm not sure you're aware of is, as I was talking to John Bowes and Michael Versecki thinking about where we should have you come visit, we knew you were going to come to Enterprise Drive, and we said, how are we going to show him how important it is to make sure that we get those funds that are being pushed off for years? We need them done now. How do we show the importance of getting infrastructure improvements to Route 139? So you might remember, we had to go to Enterprise Drive first. We pulled in to do a meeting with the Mariner newspapers and others, Ben's here. And then we said, well, if we have them come out, we don't want them to come out and go right, because that would be easy. So we had, through Peter's good work, and Jack Conway was here, we had a number of business leaders. We said, we'll meet at Hanabi, which, for those of you who knew at the time, Hanabi is no longer with us, by the way. But we picked Hanabi not because we loved the food there, but because we knew the governor would have to come out and go left. And your first words when you came in, after spending 20 minutes sitting in traffic and saying they had to have the state trooper do the wig-wag lights and go out to stop traffic, people weren't very kind to you that day either. They were trying to block traffic. The governor came in and immediately said to Bill Lass, who was here, Paul Halkiotis and others, said, I get it. This is an important project. So, Governor, with that kind of introduction as far as what you'll be hearing from people here, these people get it. There's a tremendous amount happening in Marshfield and the South Shore. I'm thrilled to make sure these people get to hear you. And from my personal thanks, if it wasn't for this governor, I'll tell you right now, I've been working my tail off for 1.5 years on this project. If it wasn't for Governor Deval Patrick, we would not be here today with $6 million. Governor, thank you so very much for your personal commitment.
First of all, Jim, thank you for your leadership. You should know that if it's important to you, it's important to Jim, and if it's important to Jim, he gets on your last nerve until it's delivered. I thank you for your leadership and your very effective representation here in the video. Yeah. I want to say of both Laurel and Peter, and Laurel, I don't know if you've already had the microphone, but I know it to be true, and you heard it, if you didn't already, from Peter. We have a Commonwealth-wide growth strategy, but it is tailored for particular regions. And we respond to the planning that has been done regionally. And you need to know that Peter and Laurel have done some marvelous, thoughtful, long-term planning for this region. So we are really just coming back in and helping you help yourselves, which is exactly what government ought to be about. So the Route 139 project is an example. The one we're here to celebrate and announce today. The Quincy Concourse project, which is underway. The ramp, which is done now at Crown Colony, coming out of Crown Colony. The South Shore Hospital, the Neponset Bridge a project. I'm just trying to think of a few offhand. I pointed out to some of you that since the film tax credit went into place a few years ago, when folks are stuck in traffic behind a movie, they say, well, that's cool. You know, because we went from 4 or 5 movies to 15 in the first year. Usually I find if someone is stuck in traffic behind a bridge being built, or 139 or what have you, they would say, that damn governor. There you go. But I am happy to have folks say that sort of thing, at least after November 2nd. Because I think this is exactly what we must be about. This is the unglamorous work of government. But investing in ourselves, in our infrastructure, our roads, rails, bridges, our broadband expansion, frankly, public and affordable housing, our public college and university campuses. This is the generational responsibility that was taken by another generation for us. And it's our turn now to step up and take our role and meet our responsibility. And because we have effectively managed this budget, including through crisis, our operating budget, we have maintained a AA bond rating for the state. Again, not something many other states can say. And because of that, we can afford to be in the market and raise the bond revenue necessary to make these kinds of investments. It is effectively implemented by a really outstanding administrator of our new MassDOT Highway Department, and that's Louisa Perwanski, and I want to acknowledge you, Louisa, for your exceptional. You promised me this would be a listening time, and time is short, so I'm going to sit down and give me the chance to hear from you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much.